In order to keep the body in good condition, we gradually have to recognize that it is an instrument. And this cart or vehicle or car exists because there is something that it is carrying. The body is not here for its own sake alone. It is here to serve as an instrument for something else. There is something living in this body. But regardless of what we call it, there is something there. And this something uses the body. It's very valuable. It has many uses. And the dweller in the body must maintain this instrument. The majority of human beings, for one reason or another, are ignoring the rules of the game. Now, the being in the body has to take care of the body. Most people do not know what the body is until it begins to get sick. They do not know what is inside until it hurts. It has taken millions of years to bring the human being to his present biological efficiency, and the individual himself can destroy all in 5 or 10 years of bad habits. Actually, nature, therefore, has a way of punishing the body if it is not well cared for. The punishment is to the flesh, but the inconvenience is to the dweller in the flesh. The body itself cannot really complain except through pain. But the dweller in the body can see high projects, great purposes, noble aspirations go to pieces if the body becomes ill. And why improve health if the individual himself is not going to do anything with his health? If health is just simply going to allow him to drift along, making all those false decisions he did before, wasting time, and finally, anyway, descending into the inevitable darkness at the end. If health is worthwhile, it's because it helps people to do things that are important in themselves. A life of significant activity, a life in which we are not living simply to take care of the body, but we take care of the body simply because it makes it possible for us to fulfill a human destiny. We've got to gradually live in a well-ordered world that we have discovered by the use of well-ordered faculties within ourselves. As long as we live with faculties that have no essential training, we're going to live in a world in which we will never notice anything that is too important. But the more we notice, the more it influences us, the better people we can become. Everything that happens has meaning, moral significance, intellectual value, and spiritual authority. You can always say to yourself, what does it mean to me? What can I learn that will make me a better person? Sometimes that meaning is that it will prove to us that we are unable to handle these activities. The moment some simple thing happens and we are angry, then something is out of control. Insight has failed. Where problems are met with despair, with tears, with hysteria or anger, the instincts, the attitudes are wrong. Therefore, we have to try to find how integrity is involved in these occurrences. Insight would help us to benefit from the experiences of others. And if our insight is strong enough, our insight will help other people to benefit from what we can do to straighten out or clarify problems in their experience. People are so interested in doing what they please that they have forgotten entirely to do what they should. And as a result of a series of catastrophes, they are very unhappy about life in general. But everything means something or it means nothing. It means something if you're awake and nothing if you're asleep. No disaster occurs without a cause. And to find out the cause changes a disaster into a lesson. They must become the basis of doing it better next time. If you make it once, it may be anyone's fault. If you make it twice, it's your own. You have the right, therefore, to learn from everything that happens. Around us, all kinds of natural things are happening, and each one of us is entitled to learn from them. The individual is not secure simply because he can make such decisions. He is secure because he has trained the decision-making mechanism in his own mind. He has learned to control his thoughts. He has learned to judge things factually. Little by little, the person gains control of his own life, and by so doing, gradually eliminates a great many of the worries and problems with which he is confronted. Little by little, the individual must outgrow his mistaken levels of living. The individual can gather strength. He can be stronger than he is. One of the great delusions is to overlook obvious facts, but most people are willing to sacrifice facts for their own opinions, notions, and convictions. The human mind and its accessories were supposed to give the individual the skill to create a noble destiny for himself. He has the right. He has the power. But one by one, he has sacrificed his rights, and again he has compromised his powers. In order to get ends that are not important, he has sold his own birthright. He has sacrificed his principles for profit, either for himself or for those who employ him. This world was created as an area in which living things could grow, fulfill themselves, in which human beings could develop the potentials that are in them. Potentials of incredible beauty and integrity. We can choose what we want to do in life. Education, then, should largely emphasize the importance of the individual being himself, not in the egotistic sense, but in the sense of the varied potential within his own nature. All these things can be worked out because we were given the instruments to solve the problem. And somehow we know that all of this came out of the human soul. The joy of living the serene significance of the gentle life. We have a lot of jobs in this world that need doing, jobs that have to do with making this a more beautiful world. We have to decide what we can do. The great question is the inner experience in yourself of perception and reflection, of knowing and seeing in your own life what needs doing, and then developing the resources that enable you to do it. It can be done if the individual wants to badly enough. In every case, it is the willpower taking over to accomplish what the mind and the emotions tell us is best for us. Now, that combination you cannot beat. But until it is really established, if one falters, the others fail. So it is very necessary to have the integrity to make a right decision.